What up? What up? What up? Did we start yet? There we go. Okay, good morning. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome. Hope you guys are doing good, man. Checking you guys in the chat. Um, Today is sentencing for Aiden Fucci. Is it Fucci or Fusi? Not that I really care, but. Oh, that would be interesting, Hoax, if they did that. He wasn't sentenced yet, but that actually would be really interesting. Um, I think that would actually be dope if they did that. Good morning, morning. How you guys doing? Welcome. Um, I have no notification. I keep forgetting this day. I gotta fix this stream issue that I keep having. I keep I gotta. My mind is like so because I've been streaming. I've been having these little tweaks that I have to make that I keep forgetting about the stream key, stream settings, and all that. Maybe that would fix that issue of the double launching. Let's see, did we double launch again today? No. Okay, good. Yeah, so if you guys, as you come in, if you could hit the like button for me, share. Let me put this out on Twitter. And oh man, yo, when I first woke up, I felt like I was hungover or something. I didn't drink nothing yesterday. Just by being up so late and then getting up early, getting older, I was like, damn, like my back hurts. Like I really literally, I'm used to like forcing myself up anyway if I have to be up. Because I feel like when you have kids, it's not even a choice anymore, right? Like there is no choice. Like you gotta get up. She has to go to school, even though it's spring break. But my body's like used to like, if I gotta do something, we're getting up. I mean, I don't see it as a choice. Some parents maybe do, but I don't see it as a choice. Okay, let me tweet this out. RE4 remake. What's that? Sound like a robot. Is that a YouTuber? I'm 37. Love letters and hey, good morning. I pulled up a couple of video clips too. I thought I figured maybe after the sentencing, if we want to hang out a little longer, we could watch some stuff that I've never seen. Because there's this interesting stuff. I mean, it's a long crime, so I mean, I don't want to use too much of their. I don't think this morning we have a choice though, but only two options: court TV or law and crime. Everybody's been using law and crime. Oh yeah. So how you say it? Fucci? Oh, I just want to say Fauci. Really? Folks? Damn, I thought you were younger, man. You look younger. Well, in the picture that I saw, in the thumbnail, or whatever, in your old avatar, whatever they call it. That's a good thing, though. Let's see. I saw some clips from the. I was thinking this kid's a piece of shit, though, bro. Like, I got to show you something that I saw. Dude, I think we have some time. I don't know when they're starting. There was a good little video clip that I was watching this morning. I figured let me kind of familiarize myself a little bit at least. Let's see here. I don't know if I have time. There it is. Let me send it to myself. Which I just want to watch the beginning part. When I saw this, I was like, this kid, I mean, I know it's in the beginning. He has no remorse. He also wrote an apology letter. I don't know if you guys saw that. I'll see if I can pull it up and we can get to that in a little bit too, maybe after the sentencing. And when I saw the apology thing, I'm like, I wonder if he felt remorse or whatever, or is he just trying to save his own skin before the sentencing? You know? back here a little bit. I wanted to play, so I'll leave that in the background. I want to play this a little bit. I just want to forward.
My only friend. I spent more than a month trying to figure out who this boy was. It turned out to be the same boy that we had talked about so often.
Wow.
The sentencing hearing for teenage killer Aiden Fucci is underway for the 2021 Mother's Day murder of 13-year-old Tristan Bailey. We get into the very emotional victim impact statements from Tristan's family and friends.
Okay, so here.
13-year-old Tristan Bailey may not be familiar with the case. It's incredibly sad. 13-year-old Tristan Bailey and 14-year-old Aiden Fucci went to school together in St. Johns County, Florida. On Mother's Day, May 9th, 2021, Bailey goes missing. Her mother reported her missing to police. The community comes together to try to find her. Police eventually come across a neighbor's surveillance video that shows Tristan Bailey and Aiden Fucci walking together on May 9th at around 1 in the morning. Nothing is caught on the camera until a little more than 2 hours later, where the video shows Fucci running back home without Tristan Bailey.
He's hauling ass. Well, let me make it bigger for you guys so you can see. Do that part there.
That shows find her. Police eventually come across a neighbor's surveillance video that shows Tristan Bailey and Aiden Fucci walking together on May 9th at around.
I'm on camera, baby. Go get some Oh.
St. John's County Circuit Court's now in session. The Honorable Judge Smith presiding.
You can all be seated. Thank you. All right, good morning. We have a couple of matters on the case on the calendar this morning that we need to address prior to moving into our sentencing hearing on Mr. Fucci's case. Mr. Newman, are you ready on Mr. Benefield's case?
I don't want her to be want to have some she's kind of wearing like a long thing, but if she was going to sit behind me, I want her to like put some shorts on or something. All right, so they're addressing some things. This is him and her. Let's see.
Around 1 in the morning. Nothing is caught on the camera until a little more than 2 hours later, where the video shows Fucci running back home without Tristan Bailey.
Wow.
Police bring Aiden Fucci in for questioning, and he really does not take it very seriously at all. He takes a Snapchat video
That's just what's crazy, bro.
That says, "Hey guys, anyone seen Tristan lately?" He then takes another video as well. Take a look.
We're having fun in a cop car.
Yep. Tristan.
What's up, guys?
Yep.
Tristan, if you walk out the damn, it's in a cop car, cuz. Tripping, dude.
So as you can see, Aiden Fucci really was not taking this seriously, as I mentioned. But police.
And I don't know, like, I wonder if he was just trying to show out. I don't know if it's like, you know, kids trying to be like as far as in that video. And oh, damn, and I just realized they show that kid's face and everything, right? They didn't censor him. I'm assuming the kid didn't know or whatever. The kid's just like, you know, the other kid that's sitting with him. And I don't know if this is him, Aiden trying to be cool or like show out or whatever.
Certainly were. They brought him in for questioning.
You know they found this girl, right?
Where?
In our neighborhood. Down our main street.
Is she good?
No, she's not. She's dead.
Yeah, like he's just kind of like, I don't know, man. That's like, this kid's not sorry. I mean, I don't know now, maybe if possible after the fact, but like in seeing this, because I haven't followed the story, I'm like, oh, that's why I said like, this kid's a piece of shit. Like you kill somebody brutally like that. It wasn't like, you know, like that 114 times brutally, and you're just like, oh yeah, I don't know. What are you talking about?
Is she good?
No, she's not. She's dead. That's why this is very important. It's all on you right now.
What is my problem?
You were
You
the
were
last
the
one
last
with
one
her.
seen with her. So right now, it's facing you right now, son. So however you talk, you breathe, you think, then you respond.
This is very serious, Aiden. You can't act like I don't know. I don't know. You can't, and you can't
He
say nothing
understands
that's
this
gonna
is
mess you up.
serious. Clearly. You understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything you say will affect you.
That Snapchat that you did was not very smart.
Not good
either.
at all. Now we have people wanting to burn our house down and our cars down because of that Snapchat thing you did.
Oh, that's his
All
parents.
over-
That's
all
his
over the
parents.
internet and everywhere.
It's
Wow.
just-
Wow. So don't worry. I have the thing in the background playing. They needed a moment to, I guess, address some things. But that's his parents.
that you did was not very smart.
Not good
either.
at all. Now we have people wanting to burn our house down and our cars down because of that Snapchat thing you did. It's all over. You're all over the internet.
And in the apology letter, he mentioned that about like people wanting to burn the place down. Or he's sorry. I'm gonna see if I can find that so we can read it later. Letter. Apology letter. Was there a video too? I don't know why. Did he apologize in court too? We have to check that out. I didn't know he did that. There's some sort of caption where I see he apologized. It looks like maybe in court, but he did write a letter. Oh, a letter to the judge. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, bro. The only thing is like, I was like, there's no way the judge could be lenient, but then I don't know. I guess they have to consider his age and stuff. I don't know, or the brutality of it. Can you overlook that? Oh, I heard about that. His mother was supposedly charged because she helped destroy evidence.
And everywhere.
It
Social
is-
media.
It is on social media. You'll probably come stay with me after we get done with this.
Aiden Fucci was then charged with the first-degree murder of Tristan Bailey. When Bailey's body is found in the woods nearby her neighborhood, it is clear that she was stabbed to death. And the gruesome detail about her death is that she was stabbed 114 times. All of the evidence pointed to Aiden Fucci. When it came time for Fucci's trial last month, he decided to plead guilty to the murder. Fucci faces a minimum of 40 years in prison, all the way up to life. Family members of Tristan Bailey were able to give victim impact statements earlier this week. Here's Tristan's sister, Alexis, commenting on the disturbing details of Tristan's death.
Yeah.
This jar now holds 114 stones, one for each of the 114 stab wounds that my sister had to endure. It was 1 hour and 42 minutes between when my sister was last seen and when Aiden Fucci was next seen, running out of the woods holding his shoes because his feet hurt. It's funny that such a simple statement can bring such anger. Aiden Fucci could show compassion for his sore feet, yet had nothing to leave for my beautiful sister.
Okay, I just wanted to show that mini recap. But these testimonies, that's his sister. I believe this is, I think, the younger one. And then his brother her brother testifies, Tristan's, and then I think the older sister then gives like her victim impact statement. And yeah, you feel pretty bad for the family and like the friends and stuff listening to that. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna click Orlando here. All right. I would like to I'm gonna keep this other feed as a backup too, I think. Because I'd rather, let's see, I'd rather be full screen. So keep that here, keep that here. But I'll keep this other one open too. Make sure we don't miss out on anything. I gotta fix these screens soon. I gotta figure my setup a little bit better too. I have time before the trial. There's a couple of things I'm not liking. little minor adjustments. But yeah, if you guys could hit like, please help me out with the stream. I'd appreciate that. It would be good. No notifications this morning, so I need all your help. Trudy, thank you for the 3-month membership. Yeah, thank you guys so much for the membership. By the way, I did a live stream the other day, members only. So I'm going to try to do that a little more frequently. I don't know what I'm going to commit to yet. At least once or twice a month, maybe. Try to be a little bit more active there. And so Trudy says, hi, Mel mods, all in chat. Good morning. All aboard. Okay.
I'm going to. That's what I'm going to do right now.
You got a notification? Really? Let me see. I don't think I have any. Take a look. Switch my account. Switch the account and see. No, there's no notifications on the channel. So, I mean, unless you're talking about Discord, or if you were scrolling on YouTube, it's not the same thing as actually getting a notification, like a pop-up notification, or actually showing on your notification screen on YouTube when you click the bell, like there's a notification area. So you wouldn't have gotten one. No notification, my friend. These are the last 3 notifications. Live chase. You received one 1 minute ago. Mother isn't fake. Missing teen. You got a notification? Are you sure? A YouTube notification? Yeah, Discord. Some people confuse a Discord notification. That's not the same thing. Mom for Life said I got a YouTube notification. Okay, I don't know what's going on then. I only got a Twitch notification. Got a notification on Facebook. That's weird. Some did, some didn't. I got a notification this morning. No notification this morning. I got a notification. That's so weird. I don't even know. No notification. All right. Red Base, good morning. What's up? Oh, and if you guys haven't seen, last night I was kind of ranting and raving talking about this Waco documentary on Netflix. It's a really good watch. Definitely should check it out. There is other documentaries they say that have been out. Some people have said some of them are better. If you've seen the other ones, the reason to watch this one, I'd say, is that crazy ass lady that was condoning acts with children of their leader, still to this day, decades later, still holding down her leader, Kathy Schroeder. So this woman, I couldn't believe it. She was like a real ride or die. She was like the type of person that she'll go and kill innocent people. In my opinion, she would kill. She's literally stated in the documentary, like the reason they gave her the grenade is because they knew that she'd pull the pin in there with her and all the other innocent, her own people in there if she had to. Ride or die. Decades later, still talking about this guy and the sex that they had, that she felt like God chose her. I was like, wow, it was such an interesting thing to see. And when I watched when I read the Reddit post last night of somebody that had seen the other documentaries, they said one of the main differences is that they've never seen this lady before, like on documentary doing interviews. There's a YouTube video of her like talking and stuff, like in an interview, but like last night, yo, this lady, And I thought like in the first episode, I heard her say some stuff. Okay, she's going to stop. Then in the second episode, she's saying things. I'm thinking after that, okay, she's going to stop. No. And the third, to the very end, just riding out, saying all kinds of crazy ish. I was like, damn. And then I was thinking like, I don't know. Is this what loyalty is too? Is this like a ride or die type of woman or something, you know? I mean, she condones some sick ish, which I wouldn't, you know, ride with, but like she, to this guy, he's dead, right? He died in the fire and stuff. Even after death, you know, till death do us part, she's through death. Even after death, she's still riding for the guy. I was like, damn. Wow. Wacko, Lizzie. This one was something else, bro. I was shocked. I mean, the whole story is messed up. But that lady, bruh. I was like taken back by the story. I had always heard of the story. And I've seen little things here and there, you know, but I don't know, the way I thought it was told really well, and to see the actual footage and video, I was like, wow. I felt like I was there almost, you know? I talking about, well, the lady's name is Kathy Schroeder, but I was calling her Shredder last night. Kathy Schroeder. But we're talking about the new documentary, the Netflix documentary. It's called, let me see the name. It's #1 on Netflix right now. Waco Netflix documentary. It's called American Apocalypse. And when I saw ATF going into that building, they did mess up. They went in there like crazy. When they first went to approach and just started blasting. Yeah, they had video from inside the compound. The only video that I think I saw from inside was from David Koresh talking to, like, making those videos with the kids and stuff. I saw that. I gotta figure out how to align this camera better too. He was in there with the kids and making statements. There was a bunch of video from the outside, which I guess has already been out. Bunch of video from the outside. I mean, you literally saw the people that were killed. Some of them really on camera being like killed. People being like killed on the roof. There was this one guy that was like by the window, and like he's trying to like get into there, and there's bullets coming out, and he's like, he shoots in, and then at one point I think he literally gets hit, but I guess he was safe because he was wearing a vest, bulletproof vest. He gets hit and he like falls back, and that's when he decides, you know what, F that. The ATF guy like starts to run, like kind of like dash, he almost jumped off the roof, but he just like got on the ladder and he like slid down instead of going step by step. I was like, damn. It was intense. That documentary was intense, man. And when I saw them too, it's like they were going so crazy at first. ATF, it's almost like, I know those guys have to be trained, but like at first, it didn't look like there was anything strategic. It looked like they just gave them guns and just sent them to run in there. The strategy is just go through the front door. I was like, damn. Oops. It was of court. Let's see. Is the notifications correct now on YouTube and Twitch? I mean, Facebook and Twitch. Not the title of the video and stuff. Tristan Bailey. Yes, it is correct. Everybody on Facebook. Good morning. Yeah, it hasn't started. I mean, they took like a recess or something. They had to deal with some stuff, so it hasn't started, but it's playing in the background. Check on Twitch too. Okay, we're on Twitch too. Good. So let me play this clip that I wanted to see as well. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Carly, what's up? The cover was blown. They just went in with no preparation, right? Oh, that was Carly. Yo, the way that whole thing happened too. Oh man, that was so crazy. I was blown away by that. How like they had this whole sting operation ready to go, and they hadn't really even set up there. And there was these news reporters that had heard about what was happening, because a lot of these news reporters have like some sort of insider or connect and stuff. And so these news reporters are out there parked, I think even before the ATF was set up. And what happened was one reporter got lost on the way to the compound or whatever. And so there's this mailman. I mean, you might want to mute it if you don't, if you haven't watched it yet. Mute it for like a minute or two. There's this mailman, and they decided to stop and ask this guy for directions. And so that mailman was actually one of the cult members. And so when they do that, then the mail guy rushes back and like gives them a heads up, and he's like, yo, the feds are coming. And so they had the heads up. But the reason that they knew, the reason that ATF found out that the cult members found out is that the ATF had somebody on the inside. And so this somebody on the inside, this undercover guy, had heard the mailman come in or whatever and tell them that like, hey, there's going to be a raid. And so the cult members knew, but then also ATF found out with their insider that they knew. So I was like, oh man. So it was a whole mess. The whole thing was just like a mess. Okay. You can unmute now. Let me type it in. Carly says I'm not getting notified. Yeah, most people shouldn't have gotten any kind of notification this morning. I know a few people say they did. But most people, because I keep track of notifications, should not have gotten a notification this morning. And when I say notifications, that's not like when you're scrolling randomly, you just see my video live or whatever. It's like an actual video notification. Not Twitch, not Facebook, not YouTube. I mean, yes, YouTube. Yeah, Hambro, check it out, man. It's so good. Check it out, man. If you have somebody to watch it with. Oh, here we got some video here. If you have somebody to watch it with, even better. Not required, but. Tristan Bailey strong. That's my squad. Okay. No audio though. Okay, and this feeds a little bit ahead of Law and Crime. Amazing. Skeezing. Whisper. So it looks like they're getting set up. You fix this out of the way. Good morning. Good morning. If you guys can help me out with the like button. Let's check this out in the meantime. If we got a little bit of time. Confused Aiden. Demons are going to take my soul away.
Live from the local station, News 4 Jax starts now.
Demons, a word accused murderer Aiden Fucci used in talking about his soul. The St. Johns County teen who's awaiting trial displayed bizarre behavior during his latest court appearance.
This was a year ago.
I'm not here. I just want to talk to my mom and dad.
So was he putting on a front? Is that all the front? There's no audio, by the way, guys. Not yet. They're still muted over there.
Fucci, who is 14, is charged with stabbing 13-year-old Tristan Bailey to death back in May.
The two attended school together at Patriot Oaks Academy and lived in the same neighborhood, Durban Crossing. News for Jax reporter Corley Peel joining us from the newsroom to show us what happened in court today. Corley?
Fucci's lawyer filed a speedy trial waiver. Then the case was passed to next month. However, Fucci's unusual behavior did not go unnoticed. Aiden Fucci looks around aimlessly, appearing to be confused during court on Wednesday.
What you got going on? Why am I here? I just want to talk to my mom and dad. What's going on? What's going on?
He rocks back and forth and mumbles about demons.
What you got going on? I don't want to let you demons. I don't want to let you demons take my soul.
Wow, dude. I'd never seen this.
I don't let you demons steal my soul.
I spoke with attorney Gene Nichols, who is not affiliated with this case.
Is it common for high-profile cases like this for the defendant to have a mental incompetency evaluation?
What you would see in most of these cases similar to this is, yes, you're going to have your client evaluated for competency, especially for a young person like this to have allegedly committed such an awful crime.
Forensic psychologist Dr. D'Arenzo is also not affiliated with this case.
Do you think that this video warrants him getting a mental evaluation?
I do.
D'Arenzo says it's hard to determine the authenticity of Fucci's behavior just based on the court video.
He definitely looked disoriented and confused.
All right. It looks like they're getting ready to start. Let me get a full screen here. Okay. Like they're going back and forth between this clock or the seal and the courtroom, but there's no audio yet. And I'm watching Law and Crime. It's the same exact thing. This feed we're watching now is just a little bit ahead of Law and Crime. But so I guess they're getting ready, getting set up. That's interesting though. I'd never seen that video clip of this kid. It looks like I must assume putting on an act. I guess they did a mental health evaluation. Let me see. Maybe to even cover themselves. And who told him to do that? Did he just come up with that on his own? Is someone in the jail give him some advice? Mental evaluation. Unusual fantasies. Oh, his psychologist testified. What testifying sentencing? We probably could have done this. We could have covered his sentencing trial. I didn't realize because it was, I guess, pretty short, right? This is day 3, technically, right? Or something like that. Would have been a short little thing to cover. That's what his mother said? No. Oh, he told that to his mother? Hey, Shelly. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Oh, really? A judge ripped into him? Oh, shit. Okay, there's this sibling. I guess his family there too. I keep saying her, Tristan's family. Damn. Woof. Pin a rose on your nose says he was 14 when he committed this heinous act. I think maybe meant to say he was narcissistic about it in the back of the cop car, then acted like I have no idea where I am while his mama washed his bloody clothes. Oh, Lord. Lord. I wonder what his attorney's telling him. New footage released. Oh, I didn't see this part. See.
Tomorrow, a St. Johns County judge will sentence Aiden Fucci for the murder of Tristan Bailey. Her family took the stand yesterday, calling Fucci a coward and a ruthless, unremorseful villain.
Aiden Fucci made a heinous decision on May 9th, 2021, and took the very life that I brought into this world. Please do not for 1 second think that he could be rehabilitated at any point. He is beyond saving.
Fucci and his family wrote apology letters to the judge and to Bailey's family. And for the first time since the start of the penalty phase, the teen showed some emotion, wiping his face and sniffling after his grandmother spoke.
Is that the boy you knew?
So only after grandma speaks? We'll take a quick look. Let's see that real quick.
Family wrote apology letters to the judge and to Bailey's family. And for the first time since the start of the penalty phase, the teen showed some emotion, wiping his face and sniffling after his grandmother spoke.
Is that the boy you knew?
He's not the boy that I knew. I don't know what happened. I mean, he's always been good and happy. I'm so sorry. He has a good family, and we don't condone what happened.
In one of his grandmother's letters, she begged him not to take Fucci out of their lives forever.
Here we go.
St. Johns County Circuit Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Smith presiding.
Thank you all. Please be seated. All right, let's go on the record in case 21 CF 825, State of Florida versus Aiden Fucci. Who do I have appearing on behalf of the State of Florida? And on behalf of the defendant? Craig Addick. And Mr. Fucci is also present. We are here today to conclude the sentencing hearing that began on Tuesday of this week. Before I get started, are there any matters that we need to address at this time from the state? No, Your Honor. Anything else from the defense?
No, sir.
I did receive some filings as of yesterday. I did review all of those filings. There were about 200 pages of deposition transcript. I reviewed as much of that as possible. I did look for portions of those depositions that I believe were related to this testimony that was received earlier in the week. So I have reviewed all of those filings that were filed yesterday. Before we begin, there is, I think, one matter that I need to address, and that is Ms. Peoples. As far as the determination, I think that has to be made a factual finding as to whether or not your client actually killed Tristan Bailey. That is typically a finding that would be made by a jury. However, because there was not a jury trial, factual finding could not be made by the jury. And I just want to make sure that there's a stipulation and agreement that the court can make that factual finding based upon the testimony and evidence that was presented during the sentencing hearing. Is that all correct?
That the court is relying on the evidence that's presented in the sentencing hearing
And
for that
yes,
factual finding.
for the court to make the factual finding. You're waiving your right to have a jury make that factual finding.
Yes, by entering the plea, Your Honor. Yes.
All right. Based on the evidence that was presented during the sentencing hearing, as well as the defendant's plea to the charge of premeditated first-degree murder, the court does find that Aiden Fucci killed Tristan Bailey, which now makes the range of possible sentences for Mr. Fucci a minimum of 40 years in prison up to life in prison. Before I begin to address the statutory factors that the court must consider under 921.1401, let me address the Bailey family as well as the friends who are here today and who have also been here throughout these proceedings. The loss in which you have clearly suffered is unimaginable. The court was certainly moved by the words and the victim impact statements that were presented earlier this week. I have been through these types of proceedings numerous times. Sometimes family members hope or expect that whatever the sentence is, that somehow or another that's going to heal or provide closure. And I just want to warn you that it's not. It's not how it works. No matter what sentence this court imposes today, it cannot heal you. I cannot bring her back. I cannot provide a closure to this. It may close a chapter of this, but it will not close this for you. You still have a lot of healing to do. And I certainly am not going to take the place of any of your counselors or therapists. But my advice to you is simply this. Understand that the healing process takes time, and you have to move through the stages, and you have to allow each other to move through the stages at your own pace. Comfort each other, but understand that some of you may reach different phases of this healing process sooner than others. Your daughter and your sister are obviously, her body is no longer present on this earth. However, her spirit lives on through each and every one of you. From what this court can tell, she was quite a energetic, happy child. Some of you testified to the fact that when you learned of her death, that part of you died as well. And what I would suggest is that you fill that void with her spirit and her life that certainly lives on through each and every one of you. Allow Bailey Sunday Fun Days to return to your home. Allow laughter to return to your home, because in depriving yourselves of that, frankly, you're continuing, it would continue to victimize Tristan, because that's not what she would want. She would want that happiness and the laughter to return, and the joking between her siblings. That's what she would truly want. You have to try to let go of some of the anger that you still feel. I think that's a big part of this process for you. Mr. Bailey, I want to address something that you mentioned, and that was the process of these court proceedings. I know it's been a long 22 months for your family as well as for this community. Justice at times can move a little bit slowly for those who are thrust into it. For those of us who practice it and live it and work it every day, I assure you that there are constitutional safeguards that are in place in this country, and they're there for a very important reason. And sometimes that takes time to work through that process. And that can be frustrating, it can be agonizing at times. But we strive to make sure that we get things right the first time, and that we do things the proper way. And I appreciated your comments, and I appreciated the patience that your family and the community has shown to the court system. These attorneys have worked diligently. They have had, on both sides, they have, this is not their only case, sadly. This is the only courtroom in all of St. Johns County with over 300,000 people who now live in this community. We have one felony courtroom. So every felony, every murder, it takes place in this courtroom. And these attorneys are assigned to cases throughout this circuit. I trust and I believe that they have done a diligent job in this case. And again, I recognize that it can certainly take some time, and I appreciate the patience that you've shown, and I hope that you understand the necessity in making sure that things are done the proper way. Pursuant to section 921.1401, the court, in determining whether a life imprisonment or a term of years equal to life imprisonment is an appropriate sentence, the court must consider the following factors. A, the nature and circumstances of the offense committed by the defendant. B, the effect of the crime on the victim's family and on the community. C, the defendant's age, maturity, intellectual capacity, and mental and emotional health at the time of the offense. D, the defendant's background, including his or her family, home, community, environment. E, the effect, if any, of immaturity, impetuosity, or failure to appreciate the risks and consequences on the defendant's participation in the offense. F, the extent of the defendant's participation in the offense. G, the effect, if any, of familial pressure or peer pressure on the defendant's actions. H, the nature and extent of the defendant's prior criminal history. I, the effect, if any, of characteristics attributable to the defendant's youth on the defendant's judgment. And J, the possibility of rehabilitating the defendant. I have considered all of the evidence that has been presented for the during this week. The testimony that was presented, the victim impact statements, the evidence that was submitted, the filings, and I have analyzed each and every one of those factors as well as any other factors that may be relevant to these proceedings in order to determine an appropriate sentence for this case. The statute requires the court to make specific findings on the record, which is what I will now do. I'm going to begin with factor C, the defendant's age, maturity, intellectual capacity, and mental and emotional health at the time of the offense. This defendant was 14 years old when this act was committed. It is well established, and this court accepts fully that an individual's brain is not fully developed until they reach sometime in their 20s. There is no question to the science behind that. This court recognizes it, accepts it. The court finds that the defendant himself was of average maturity for his age. Based on the testimony that was presented, there were comments about that he was of average maturity, that some of his friends looked upon him as even more mature than the average 14-year-old. He did have a learning disability. His grades suffered as a result. He struggled in school. Resources were put into place to assist him, which he did respond to. The Dean of Students testified about his work with Mr. Fucci, and that there were some things that were done to assist him. He did have some discipline issues at school, but he had a good rapport with that dean, seemed to have a good plan in place. The court has heard the testimony and received some testimony about his emotional health, which kind of segues into the next factor, which is the defendant's background, including his or her family home and community environment. The defendant had a fairly normal home environment. He had two parents who were very involved in his life. The testimony from the grandmother was that his father never missed time sharing, his mother never missed time sharing. I want to comment on the grandmother who testified, who came into this courtroom and testified. That took a lot of courage. That was not easy for her, but it did show this court that he had a good, stable home environment. Well, there had been some discussion about, from his girlfriend, that she felt as though maybe there were some things that were going on at home. Based on all of the testimony and evidence, this court does not find that he suffered from any type of physical or emotional abuse. It does not appear that there was any significant alcohol or drug abuse inside the home. Additionally, the court reviewed the letters that were submitted by his mother and his father, in particular the letter from the father. The court was also moved by, indicated that there was a strong father-son relationship. I'm going to skip factor E for just a moment and move to factor F, the extent of the defendant's participation in this offense. This court does find that the defendant was the sole participant in this offense. He was 100% responsible for this murder. This court does not believe that there was any encouragement or enticement from anyone else to get him to commit this crime. As to factor G, the effect, if any, of familial pressure or peer pressure on the defendant's actions, the court received no evidence that would suggest that there was any familial or peer pressure on the defendant's actions in this case. The nature, factor H, the nature and extent of the defendant's prior criminal history. This defendant has no prior criminal history. The court did receive, and there had been some discussion about whether or not the court could consider any prior or post-bad acts. I want to make it very clear that the only consideration that this court is giving to any of the information that it received related to any prior acts in school or fights or any of the statements or acts that occurred after his arrest while he was incarcerated were received and considered solely for the purpose of analyzing the factors in this statute. It in no way, shape, or form does this court has this court considered those matters in order to enhance his sentence. It is simply to apply them and apply those issues to these particular factors. The effect, if any, of Characteristics attributable to the defendant's youth on the defendant's judgment. I've already considered his youth. I don't find that there were any other characteristics of his youth that really played a part in this crime. J, the possibility of rehabilitating the defendant. I would say that the defendant has shown some ability to modify his behavior. That was shown in school through the Dean of Students. However, as Dr. Pritchard noted, this crime is extraordinary. His behavior was so unusual compared to individuals his age that there is a poor prognosis for rehabilitation. Let me move to factor B, the effect of the crime on the victim's family and on the community. The effect of this crime that is had on the victim's family and on the community is significant. There is no greater loss than the loss of one's own child. The nature and circumstances of her death have caused an even greater trauma on her loved ones. Her siblings, parents, and extended family members all provided compelling victim impact statements relating their personal struggles with coping with her death. It has caused them deep and emotional and mental health problems. They are no longer able to function as the family they once were. It has also had a tremendous impact and effect on this community. This court has reviewed all of the letters that were submitted by her friends, teachers, coaches, and others. Approximately 150 letters were received. I have read all of them, and all of them strike a similar chord. This was a devastating crime. It was devastating to the children of this community. It materially changed an entire community. Some of the letters indicated and discussed children who were teenage children who could not sleep in their beds alone and had to sleep in between their parents for fear of what happened in this case. One of the letters I read mentioned the exhaustion of any mental health resources. The supply was in such need that the need was so great that the supply of mental health resources, there was an insufficient number of counselors. Individuals had to wait weeks or even months before they could get in to see a grief counselor. I would submit that this case is probably the most difficult and shocking case that this county in St. Johns County has dealt with. In the 20 years that I have been, or 16 years that I have been practicing law, and the 30 years that I have lived and worked in this all of Northeast Florida, this case is one of only a very small few that had this level and this type of impact on the community. This court gives this factor great weight. As to the last two remaining factors, the effect, if any, of immaturity, impetuosity, or failure to appreciate the risks and consequences of the defendant's participation in the offense, and the effect of the crime, and the nature and circumstances of the offense committed by the defendant. These factors are somewhat combined. "114 stab wounds, 49 defensive wounds, 35 wounds to the head and neck, 29 to the back and shoulder, and 6 fatal wounds."
Wow. I didn't know it was...
This court has reviewed and seen more than its fair share of autopsy photos. The autopsy photos in this particular case were particularly difficult. The 49 defensive wounds indicate that Tristan Bailey was conscious that she was aware, and that she was doing everything she could to fend off this attack. She suffered a painful, horrifying death from someone that she trusted. Her screams were most likely stifled by her own suffocating lungs. He lured her into a secluded place in the woods near his home, a person that she trusted, and he led her there under false pretenses. There was a heightened level of premeditation in this case. Based on the prior statements that he made to his girlfriend and his friend, he indicated that he was going to kill someone. At which point he determined that it was going to be Tristan Bailey, I don't know. But there was going to be a victim. He indicated that how he was going to do it, that he would take them into a wooded place, that he would stab them, he would kill them and then run away so that he could keep on killing. He told his best friend that he wanted to kill someone to see what it felt like, and he wanted to watch them bleed out. This particular crime was committed with the weapon of choice as a knife, which he nicknamed Poker. That required a up-close, personal, type of murder that is rare. It's unique. The court accepts that in 2019, of all juvenile arrests, only 7% were violent and only 1% of those were homicides. This crime is clearly an outlier, and it was shocking, and it is shocking to the conscious. This court finds that the defendant's participation in this offense was not the result of immaturity or impetuosity. He understood the risks and consequences of his actions. He previously told his girlfriend that he was going to do this. That clearly shows that he had been planning it. He attempted to cover it up by disposing of the murder weapon and throwing it into a lake. He then attempted to conceal evidence by hiding his shoes and shirt and jeans, taking a shower, stealthily entering his home, and then the actions immediately after, with the Snapchat videos in the back of the police car and the story that he made up about pushing her and her hitting her head, which was clearly refuted by the video evidence in this case. All of that shows, and this court finds, that this was not an immature or an impetuous type of crime. It makes it unique. It makes it extraordinary. What is also very troubling is that this crime had no motive. This was not done out of greed. It was not done in retaliation, retribution, or revenge. It was not a crime of passion. It was not a crime that was committed because he felt rejected by her. It was not done in a fit of uncontrollable anger. There was no reason. There was no purpose. It was done for no other reason than to satisfy this defendant's internal desire to feel what it was like to kill someone. It was committed in a cold, calculated, and premeditated manner without any pretense for moral or legal justification, and it was heinous, atrocious, and cruel. This factor and this factor alone makes this case and this defendant more than just unique. It is for this reason and all of the reasons previously stated that leads this court to the conclusion that there is only one appropriate sentence in this case. Mr. Fucci, if you and your attorneys would please rise. Counsel, is there any legal reason why this court cannot impose sentence at this time?
No, sir.
Mr. Fucci, having entered a plea of guilty to the crime of first-degree murder, I adjudicate you guilty of the premeditated first-degree murder of Tristan Bailey. I sentence you to life in prison. Because of your age, you are eligible for a review of the sentence in 25 years. I order the Department of Corrections to notify you when you are eligible to apply for your review hearing. Madam Clerk, if you will please impose the minimum fines and court costs. Mr. Fucci, you have 30 days to appeal the legality of this court's sentence. If you wish to appeal but cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. You will be taken back to the Duval County Jail and then transported into the Florida State Prison System. We are adjourned.
Wow. Damn, just like that, huh? At first, when the judge was talking in the beginning, I was like, oh, shoot. Like, it seems like he's being lenient or something like that. But I guess he's just going through the motions of, like, all the things. I'll look at the mother and father. Going through all the motions of like, the things that he has to consider. Damn. It was interesting what the judge said too when he was talking about that, like, this is not gonna bring you closure. You know, I guess he was just trying to, I don't know how long he's been practicing or whatever, but you know, he's just, I guess, explaining to them to maybe to set the expectations or whatever, or just, you know, I don't know, but you're not, it's not over yet. It's not done. But I guess this is just a part of it. And the way the law works, I guess, is what the judge was saying is that, like, even though he gave him a life sentence, I guess in 25 years, I don't know, they have, I forgot what he said, like he gets a chance or they get to reevaluate or whatever. I don't think they'll let him out. I mean, I don't know, even if he's on his best behavior, I don't know. Just imagine like the if somehow they let him out, like the bad look that it would be, right? And that 25-year evaluation thing or whatever, that's like the law or whatever because of his age. There's nothing the judge can do about that. He gave him a life sentence, but I guess in 25 years they'll, I don't know. So somebody was talking to me about that the other day, explaining it to me. Review in 25 years, yeah. Yeah. Nothing the judge can do about that. He said he's been practicing law for 30 years in his speech. Okay. Thank you. That's crazy, man. And yeah, for there not to be like any kind of motive. I mean, a lot of times we don't really find out the motive, but no real reason, no like. And he was telling his ex, and that's what I was watching that the other night, like, because we saw his psychologist or something testify. I mean, I was watching it, and I think the guy was saying, like, he told his girlfriend, interviewed girlfriend accused of killer Aiden Fucci, explains he had several names with knives.
Aiden kept knives for protection. He always had a knife on him if he wasn't at school.
I guess there's no video, it's just audio.
For protection. He always had a knife on him if he wasn't at school. He would keep his AirPods. He listened to music to try and calm him down. He said that helped him with his anger.
When you say he kept knives, was it, you know, usually a different knife? Did he have one that he was partial to that was like his favorite, or?
He had like a few. He didn't really say he had a favorite. He just had knives. And
oh shoot! Okay, good.
Or another, or
Did he say any? Did he have? I mean, when you say knives, we're talking like
Just like pocket knives.
like folding pocket knives.
Yeah, like they would fold up and.
Okay. If you had to describe any of them that you can remember, could you tell me about what they looked like?
Yeah. Well, there was mainly 2 that he would have on him, and it was one that his stepdad gave him. It was like a kind of gray, black, like army-looking one. It had a skull on it, maybe like an orange skull on it or something, and he called it Picker.
Okay.
Because it had, I guess, teeth. The knife had.
You mean like it had a serrated edge?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he have any others that he kept normally?
There was another one. It was like yellow, and it was like it was made out of wood, I think.
Okay.
And he called that one.
Did it look like this?
Yeah.
Did it look like it, or is that the same type of knife?
That's the same knife.
Okay. And just so you understand, I'm holding a folding buck knife.
Yeah.
With a brass frame, right? And a wooden handle. Okay. So you've seen him carry a knife like that?
Yeah.
Pretty commonly?
Yeah, it was mainly those 2.
Okay.
He broke one of them.
And I think I cut you off. You were saying he called it something?
He called one Picker, and then
Picker.
he called that one Poker.
Poker. Yep. All right, real quick, final thing, and then I have to head out for now. We might come back later depending on what happens, but so my local friend hit me up, the friend that's out there in Eaton, Indiana, and she was telling me, hey Mel, last night they discovered a body within our area, but they're calling it an adult male. So everyone got into a frenzy because they wonder if that's the boy, because it was cornered off as a crime scene. Last night at the vigil, parents did not attend. Wow. But police, and so she sent me the post that police just did, and they're saying here, police, as far as Scotty Morris, they're saying here that there has been talk of human remains were found last night. That claim is false. We were dispatched to an area of interest last night. However, there were no human remains found there. So our investigatory search continues today to find Scotty. So that's kind of the latest with that, I guess. Not much, still missing. Devil Dice 6 for the super chat says they need to toss that weirdo into the sun. Yeah, I don't know, man. Huda London, thank you for coming a member. Appreciate it. I have to head out for now, but I may be back later, and hopefully later we have notifications, whether it's a Scotty update, whether it's whatever breaking news, whether it's a chase, whatever it is. I'll be kind of tuned in for whatever happens. And then reminder, April 3rd, which one of these days I want to set a stream in advance. April 3rd is the Letitia Stout trial. We're going to be covering. We're going to be back into trial mode. So I'm going to be around kind of warming up, getting myself back mentally into doing the lives and like short videos and just taking care of things. I'm still going to relax though too, because at that trial, once we're in that trial, it's going to be a while. We're going to be a couple of weeks with the trial, but it's going to be an interesting one. So definitely don't miss out. Subscribe, turn up all the notifications. Okay. Hit the like. And yeah, I heard that from multiple people, but this local person that's actually out there told me that the parents weren't at the vigil. So yeah. Huda London, thank you so much for the super chat. Says my condolences to Tristan Bailey and her family. The judge should arrest the mother. Yeah, so the mother supposedly was like, or was charged actually with hiding evidence or helping clean up or whatever. So, but yeah, we'll be around, man. You guys have a good day. Take care of yourselves. Thank you, Good Morris Mom, for the membership. Love you guys. I can't wait to kind of